Smith. You have been challenged. You will go to Turkey.
I'm his girlfriend now.
There you will be given 5 tasks. Should you fail one of these tasks, we will make you do something really horrid. The more you fail, the more unpleasant it will become. You have 5 days. Get going.
Istanbul Airport. To prepare myself for the challenges they're going to be throwing at me over the next few days, I gave myself a task of my own on the flight over. Decided to strap my sandwiches to my body, a bit like in the film Midnight Express, making them look like 10 kilos of uncut heroin. But it's all right, they're actually just cheese and tomato, a substance which is unlikely to earn me 15 years of hardcore sodomy in one of the country's exciting penal institutions. And now I'm off to meet my fixer.
First, I got a bus into Istanbul where we'd arranged to meet. Her name was Somna, and she was carrying the envelope containing my first challenge. What could Turkey throw at me?
Challenge 1. Win a fight with an oiled wrestler.
Somna got on the case. To find some wrestlers, we'd have to drive up to the Bulgarian border, about 4 hours away. I'm sure the views of the countryside were stunning, but I'm not Michael Palin, so I decided to fall asleep instead of telling you all about them. God knows, one feels pretty much the same as another as far as I'm concerned. The next morning, we were bundled into a van with several extremely muscular Muslims. They were going to kit me out and teach me the rules, ready for my big fight. I don't speak much Turkish, but by the time we'd got to the compound, I'd learned that they were called Steel, the Merciless and the Optimist. For my own wrestling nickname, I chose the Hopelessly Plump.
OK, are those my trousers?
Fortunately, they seemed very friendly. Actually, a little too friendly.
I'm being oiled. I know that. Has anyone's ever seen Midnight Express? I'm in the shower being oiled by a very large Turk. Yeah.
The first problem was fitting into a pair of traditional leather trousers, tighter than one of Britney Spears' catsuits. I wonder whether she uses the same technique to get them on.
This has to be the most unpleasant sporting preparation I've ever done.
Their games kit may not be up to much, but these guys are part of the oldest sporting organisation in the world.
I wasn't expecting a homoerotic fantasy. Look at the Optimist. Optimist. We say hello to British girls. Hello. You too could be oiling the Optimist, ladies. Just ring our competition line. Calls only cost about 10 quid to my house.
Unlike Western wrestling, these men battle it out in the fields, no matter what the weather.
Is it enter the dragon or send in the clowns? I wonder. I've already broken my flip-flop twice.
Funnily enough, I was feeling quite confident. With my portly physique and low centre of gravity, this was one sport I reckoned I was well suited to.
Don't worry. OK, Merciless. I'm his girlfriend now.
Our octogenarian band kicked off with their latest hit. Apparently, you can't have old wrestling without music. They provide a soundtrack and set the pace for the fighting. Meanwhile, I just tried to do what everyone else was doing. Oiled wrestling is Turkey's most respected sport. Believed to have begun in 3000 BC, it still attracts huge crowds. Not when I'm doing it, however. It all seemed quite friendly, really. Then the band gave a signal and everybody started fighting. I carefully watched and tried to work out which one of them would be easiest to beat. Knowing the rules might help, of course.
OK, this is how you win. It's basically you touch the shoulders of your opponent on the ground. There! That's out. He loses. Merciless wins. Merciless the winner. OK.
Steel and the Merciless taught me some moves, many of which seem to involve placing a worryingly well-oiled fist near your opponent's anus. As my ring piece was super glued tight with fear, maybe I can actually pass this challenge. After all, I only had to win one fight. Check it out, ladies. British beef.
It doesn't look that athletic, but you can't get a grip except by putting your hand around his knob. Really, it's like wrestling with a bull. Incredibly strong upper body strength. Oh!
And then, without warning, my fight had started.
And also the ring is spinning. Oh, he's got his hand in it. Ah!
Merciless lived up to his name as he suspended me by my Christmas crackers.
Giant to stop! Stop! Yes! Oh, that fucking really hurt. They squeeze the trousers so you can't breathe. They put their hand down and tighten it around your guts. And then they just sit on you. It's like having an elephant take a jump on your head. Oh, fuck.
I went back to the showers to lick my wounds. I'd failed my very first challenge, so I'd get a forfeit. But the penalty was worse the more I failed. I was desperate to pass the other 4 challenges.
I think I've just found out the worst thing about Turkish wrestling. It takes so much soap to get all the oil off you that you have to have a shower buddy. Mine was the Optimist, who leant me against the wall, assuming the position. Gave me a thorough scrotal soaping. I did manage not to get wood, though, which I think socially would have been unwise.
Challenge 2. Perform the Rite of Spring.
Obviously, I'd been given this challenge because tomorrow was the Rite of Spring. I needed to find out where the celebrations would be and what I had to do. I was told to hang about near a river at the crack of dawn and wait. Sure enough, it didn't take long for the crowds to start turning up.
It's about 5 o'clock in the morning now here at Minaret, and the scene has gone from totally quiet to totally bonkers. There's 200 or 300 really noisy revellers, still more turning up all the time.
But what exactly was my challenge? Finally, it became apparent. I had to jump in the river.
It's freezing cold. I don't know what the local name of the river is, but it ought to be something like the polluted river, because it's just swimming with scum.
But what the hell? It couldn't be any worse than my forfeit. So once again, I took my clothes off for Britain, attracting an unusual band of onlookers. Fortunately, I couldn't understand a word they were saying.
It's very cold.
Yenge çok hastayım. Güzelim bize.
Well, actually, it wasn't over yet. The rite involves a trial by fire as well as water. Luckily, the flames are nothing like you'd see on bonfire night in Britain, so I got a bit cocky. Well, it never did Eddie Kidd any harm, apart from that 5-year coma, of course.
Challenge 3. Sing Wombling Free from a minaret.
We had to head back to Istanbul for this task. The singing wasn't going to be a problem. It was avoiding possible death threats that I was worried about. Minarets are holy places, and the only singing which is allowed is the call to prayer 5 times a day. But any song can get boring if you listen to it that often, so I was prepared to give the locals a treat. Somna knew the head of the Otokoy Mosque, one of Istanbul's oldest, and I thought that if she showed him the lyrics to Mike Batt's classic anthem about cheerful hairy creatures who do a lot of tidying up, surely a positive message in any culture, he might make an exception.
What is the story, Somna?
Okay, the story is it doesn't fit with. I mean, it's not legal and it would be offending. It's just. I mean, he said it wouldn't be offended. He wouldn't be offended. Actually, it will be. It's a very nice message, and he really appreciates it. But
what?
But it is. It doesn't go with the rule of the book.
How does he get up the stairs if he's such an old man?
He doesn't get up the stairs. He uses a microphone.
From the bottom?
Yes.
Oh, that does mean at least he's not going to follow me.
Whom? The museum?
Yeah,
No,
he's
he
too old.
So if I went up, the blind man couldn't come with us, and there'd be no one to stop me completing my challenge. I told Somna I wanted to go up just to see the view.
Jesus, these stairs are really small. Ah, jeez, a whole lot of shit just fell on my head. Every one of them is just full of crumbled bits of detritus.
All the way up, 2 words kept echoing in my head. Salman Rushdie, Salman Rushdie. But could I do it? Was I brave enough to break Islamic law and risk a fatwa? Or perhaps that should just be a war, as I'm already quite fat.
Yeah. Hey, bitch.
And the answer is... no. Oh dear, I'd already failed 2 challenges. From now on, it was damage limitation.
Challenge 4. Deliver this letter.
So where's this then?
The answer? 1,200 miles southeast into Asia. What adventures would it lead to? I was about to find out. I was on my way to deliver a letter. Sounds easy enough, but look what happened to Tom Hanks in Castaway. Mind you, my forfeit would get worse the more challenges I failed, so it was crucial that I managed to succeed at this one.
All I've got to do is deliver this letter to number 12 Ataturk Street, Ataturk Kadesi number 12. That's in the town of Halfeti in the region of Urfa, which is where we are. Can't see a problem.
Until the road ran out and we exchanged the car for a boat. After a nice sunbathe, I began to realise what nobody had been telling me.
Well, we've got to Halfeti, and at last I can see what the challenge is. The town, or at least half of it, is underwater. You can see the minaret of the mosque there. It's the only bit of it sticking above. There are still some people living up at the top, but they don't send their kids to the school anymore, because the school apparently is right underneath the boat where we are now.
Up until about 6 months earlier, this had been a functioning little town, but the government had turned the valley into a reservoir, emptying out the population.
I feel a bit nervous, actually, because you don't know how tall the houses are underneath us.
Somna had brought the former postman along to give us precise directions.
12 orası.
12 numarada burası mı?
12 numarada burası.
Okay, this is Atatürk Street and this is number 12.
Hopefully there'll be a letterbox somewhere underneath on the ground floor. So I'm going to walk down from what used to be the top floor of this one, jump into the freezing cold water and deliver my letter for a very unpleasant challenge. I'm going to do it. Oh. How cold is this? Yeah, all right, very funny. Turkish sense of humour. Come laugh. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is cold. This is cold.
1, 2, 3.
No, don't, none of that, mate. Oh, here we go. I can't see anything.
I don't know about getting the letter in the mailbox, but judging how fast my privates were shrinking in the icy cold water, I'd have no trouble fitting my penis in the keyhole.
I'm actually walking on just a pile of rubble now. Oh, and it gets very, very deep. You are walking on just old roof slates and like TV aerials or something under here. I've got to tell you, I can see what was remains of the front door, and it's just a pile of rubble now. It's home to fish and crabs, so I'm going to leave one very wet letter for number 12 Ataturk Street, on what used to be the attic. There we go. Hopefully, when the resident comes back, and assuming he is marine boy, he'll be able to find his post in slightly soggy condition, warm it over the fire, and hopefully not notice that I've just had a pee next to his window, because it's that cold. It's the only way to warm myself up. Hope you're not filming this. Oh, at last, warmth.
Challenge 5. Sell your goat for a profit.
Smith 2, Turkey 2. Surely I could manage this task. There was no shortage of goats here. I just needed to get my hands on one and use my extensive bartering skills. So Somna took me shopping.
So we've come to a village in the middle of the countryside. As far as I can tell from these elderly gentlemen, it's called Salahi. But apparently these guys are either very canny businessmen, and they don't want me to think they've got any goats, or there is a Mr. Big of goats who I'm going to be led to, who's far too important to come and meet me and shake my hand and offer me some pistachio nuts.
Sure enough, Somna found him.
Merhaba. So you are the Mr. Big of goats.
Keçilerin sahibisisiniz demek. Asıl şey keçi.
Excellent. Can we see your goats now?
Ya biz onun için getirdim emek.
Bloody hell, look at the size of that one.
Bu iri bak, bu
And it's got enormous horns.
75 kağıt falan der bak bu köyde.
Fuck me, it's bigger than I am.
Bu keçi.
I'm being offered 2 goats
O bunlar
for the same
iri.
price. One is essentially a 4-door,
Çıkar onu çıkar.
and the other is a little sports coupe.
We all like to think we can drive a hard bargain, so I tried all my best Del Boy tricks to get a good deal out of him.
He gave a good price, but I need a great price.
Yarım
If he
saat sonra
can clean it
geleceğiz.
up a little.
Nasıl?
Can he clean it up a little?
But he's going to have to come down in price on the little one because it's just pissed all over itself again.
Diyor ki bir bakacağım diyor.
Then it came to me. Of course, my potential trump card was staring me in the face.
Will he throw in a hen?
Tavuğu da ben öyle vereyim yani niye diyeyim ya?
Ama if you want I can give you a hand.
Right, I'll tell you what, 35 million. I want the goat, the hen, and 2 eggs.
Keçi istiyorum, bir tavuk istiyorum, 2 de yumurta istiyorum diyor.
Canın sağ olsun.
That's a bargain.
Anlaştık.
Yürü getir 2 tane yumurta getir.
Excellent. I now own this goat.
O keçileri
Thank you very much.
İkisini içeri koy. Nedir?
Come here. I'm going to name this goat Jensen, after the 70s disc jockey Kid Jensen.
So with my kid in one hand and my chick in the other, off we went to market.
Come on, Jensen, baby, let's make some money.
Here, your goat about town travels by bus, so we loaded Jensen up.
Jensen is definitely getting ready for some major defecation. Something I tried to do myself, but I went into the local cafe's Kazi, and it was a hole in the ground surrounded by about 4,000 blue bottles. No bog paper, just a tap. So I thought I'd hold it in for an hour and a half. This bus. Apart from trying to eat my shoelaces, Jensen has been good as gold. And the best thing is he doesn't have to pay for a ticket. Kids go free.
I was confident. I'd even got an extra egg out of him.
Look at this goat. Have you ever seen such a goat? He behaves very well on buses. I'm not going to ask 100 million. I'm not even going to ask 80 million.
What's that?
40 million for this goat.
40 milyona satıyorum.
9.
9?
He said it will only cost 10 million.
10 million?
Look at the teeth on it. Feel those horns. I'm not just offering a goat. With the goat, free, a chicken. Look at this.
Keçinin yanında ben
A chicken and 3 eggs. They may even hatch into goats. He's cracking it off on Jensen's horns. He's going to drink it raw. Sylvester Stallone. Look at the flower. He's killed a few goats.
Katil.
Come on.
killer, you say.
Okay, he's a killer. How much? Come on, 20 million and a half. I'm getting some money here.
This is the British.
And go! It's a disaster for Smith. I've failed my challenge. 35 million spent. I've only recouped 20 million.
For each failed challenge, you must let a leech suck your blood.
Look at the size of that fucking thing.
Yup, that's right. We just pop down to the chemist for some aspirin when we're feeling ill. But in rural Turkey, they breed leeches in special lakes. You just put your foot in, waggle it about, and they slither over and take a bite. I'd failed 3 out of my 5 challenges. Now it was time to take my punishment. And naturally, I took it like a man.
There's a leech on my foot! There's a leech on my foot!
What's that? It's bitten me. Look, there's a leech attached to my ankle.
Ah! There's 2 on me! Ah! It's crawling up my leg! It's actually out of the water!